Good morning. Mr. Clerk, do we have a quorum?
Yes, Madam Speaker, we have quorum.
I call this special meeting of City Council for June 11th, 2025 to order and acknowledge that we're on Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Innu, and Dakota peoples, and in the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation in Treaty 3 territory. We have a motion to allow Councillor Berwadi and Councillor Lukes to participate remotely in today's meeting. Madam Clerk, would you read the motion into the record?
Moved by Councillor Sharma, seconded by Councillor Eadie, that in accordance with Section 9.19 of the Procedure Bylaw number 50 of 2007, Councillors Berwadi and Lukes be allowed to participate remotely in today's meeting of Council.
All in favor? Contrary? That's carried. We'll now have the opening prayer. Please rise if you're able. And we'll hear from Councillor Gilroy.
As we gather here today as members of City Council, we seek to be ever mindful of the opportunities to render our service to fellow citizens and to our community, keeping in mind always the enduring values of life and exerting our efforts in those areas and on those things upon which future generations can build with confidence. We recognize that we are meeting on Treaty 1 and Dakota Nations territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. Let us continue to strive to make a better world.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Madam Speaker, Councillor Sharma, His Worship Mayor Gillingham, Councillors Allard, Chambers, Dobson, Duncan, Eadie, Gilroy, Mays, Rollins, Santos, Wyatt, Lukes, and Berwadi.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, if you could read into the record the leave of absence motion for Councillor Orlikow, who is away attending on other city business.
Moved by Councillor Rollins, seconded by Councillor Gilroy, that Councillor Orlikow be granted a leave of absence from today's meeting due to a personal family matter. Or city business.
City business,
Okay.
That's correct. All in favor? Aye. Contrary? Carried. Madam Clerk, if you could read the notice for today's special meeting.
In accordance with Section 79(1) of the City of Winnipeg Charter, a special meeting of Council has been called for Wednesday, June 11th, 2025 at 9 a.m. in the Council Chamber, Council Building 510 Main Street, to consider first reading of the following bylaws. Number 1, Bylaw number 59 of 2025 to amend the Winnipeg Zoning Bylaw number 200 of 2006 to allow as-of-right residential development of new 2-unit, 3-unit, and 4-unit dwellings, file DAZ 209 of 2025, updated with a revised bylaw. Item 2, Bylaw number 56 of 2025 to adopt a secondary plan to convert the Dawson Trail Precinct J plan to a secondary plan, file SP2 of 2025. Number 3, Bylaw number 57 of 2025 to adopt a secondary plan to convert the North Point Village Precinct F plan to a secondary plan, SP3 of 2025. Number 4, Bylaw number 58 of 2025 to adopt a secondary plan to convert the Waterford Green Precinct C plan to a secondary plan, SP4 of 2025. Item number 5, Bylaw number 55 of 2025 to adopt secondary plan amendments to Complete Communities Direction Strategy 2.0 and 21 secondary plans, file SPA 3 of 2025. The agenda has been republished with a further revised bylaw number 59 of 2025 on the decision-making information system, and pursuant to the requirements of the City of Winnipeg Charter, no other subject matter other than that outlined in this notice shall be considered at the meeting.
Thank you. Given that the bylaw was just revised and published just a few moments ago, we're going to take a 15-minute recess to allow Council the opportunity to review the details. Yes.
Madam Speaker, we have principles of procedural fairness that we try to adhere to, including ones of transparency. While I appreciate 15 minutes may be adequate to get it reposted, the public, of course, can't be guaranteed that their council has indeed read it. So I'm concerned here that we're being prevented for an informed deliberation. I'm concerned here that it disenfranchises stakeholders. Can we confirm that it is the clause following Councillor Eadie's motion on accessibility that was missing, or which clauses were missing that allowed it for republishing? I'm concerned about other things, but at this juncture, I will ask that in addition to what's being reposted, that perhaps a line-by-line comparison of what was posted and then what is now in front of council be provided to council.
Thank you, Councillor Rowlands. We can certainly do that. We will take the 15-minute recess, and it's already been republished, so it's not awaiting republication.
Point of order and a point of procedure, and I'm going to ask the chair to rule accordingly.
The clerk would like to respond as well.
Roland's is saying, maybe it's a simple explanation by the public service just to explain what the new information is, or the slight change that was made might clarify things. That might help.
Certainly. Mr. Clerk?
Certainly. We were made aware this morning that there was a clause that was missing one of the amendments from the hearing regarding accessible units. If the councillors, if council would like, we could certainly read that for the councillors' information.
Yes, please do.
I did ask you to rule accordingly with respect to the informed deliberation and the fact that it's going to disenfranchise stakeholders. While I appreciate Councillor Wyatt has a different viewpoint and thinks it's a simple matter of reading it into the record,
Thank you. Councillor
I don't.
Rowlands, I think a recess is sufficient at this time. Thank you. If there's any other viewpoints, I'd be glad to hear them. Okay. Mr. Clerk, I'm going to call on you to provide any additional information that you would think would be helpful prior to taking the recess.
Again, we certainly can read the amendment that was actually added to the bylaw for council's information.
Yes, please do.
Okay.
The missing clause was accessible units, 3.2. Any four-story, four-unit dwelling must provide at least one dwelling unit designated as accessible in accordance with the city's then current accessibility design standards.
Okay, good. We'll take a 15-minute recess. If additional time is required, please approach me. Thank you. Good morning. I'd like to reconvene our special council meeting of June 11th, 2025, after a short recess. Councillor Mays had to depart. Mr. Clerk?
He has advised that he needed to be at a meeting on city business.
Thank you. Okay, right into the bylaws, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would move that the following bylaws be read a first time. Bylaw number 59, 2025, bylaw number 56, 2025, bylaw number 57, 2025, bylaw number 58, 2025, bylaw number 55, 2025.
All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary? Okay. Councillor Dobson and Councillor Rowlands noted in opposition.
Bylaws number 59 of 2025, bylaw number 56 of 2025, bylaw number 57 of 2025, bylaw number 58 of 2025, and bylaw number 55 of 2025.
Okay. That concludes our agenda. Mr. Mayor, will you move adjournment?
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Contrary? Carried. Stay for roll call, please.
Madam Speaker, Councillor Sharma, His Worship Mayor Gillingham, Councillors Allard, Chambers, Dobson, Duncan, Eadie, Gilroy, Rowlands, Santos, Wyatt, Lukes, and Brawadi.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned.